so happy to be here in the season of Pisces, the fish. Right now, we can feel like we're sleeping with the fishes. That's funny. Sleeping with the fishes is a saying because that is so Pisces. It's about like sleep time, dreaming. Pisces is about the fishes. Sleeping with the fish. Make sure to get you one of these hats. You can do it on my website, aquarium.tv. So far, I have sold 0. I gave one away. You honking at, honky? So, Pisces is the 12th and last sign of the zodiacal wheel of the creation of everything, of the all. It's moving, mutable waters, the waters of the womb, the waters of a river, moving waters, which we baptize, purify ourselves in to be born again, to arise, to resurrect from the dead at Easter, the spring freaking equinox. Namely, the first full moon after the spring equinox. Why? Because the moon is what seals and stamps the energy from the heavens. It's the karmic disher outer and sealer. It's in charge of the movement of life and its waters. Now we get trapped in that, being lost in our emotional waters, our sexual waters, our brain's waters. Our brain floats in water. We have the waters below and the waters above. The sky, the heavens. And in the waters below receive the light. So we have to create waters for the light to come into, to create new life. We want to create heavenly life and not supernal realm life. Or even an animal life. That's our bestial life, demonic life, hell. We are creating heaven or hell throughout the frickin' day. It depends. Are we giving more due to the devil than God? Bad over good, evil over good. Are we in control of what we do, or are we merely just at the whim of the winds of the world? Now, there's something about Pisces that does teach us about going with the flow and releasing, surrendering. It's about the unknown. So I saw some some saying that was about, sorry, I had to close my window, it was getting too loud. The other dude's driving directly next to me. Like, I usually like a little bit ahead or a little or behind, but not my blind spot. The 12th house, Pisces, is our blind spot. It's the unknown, and therefore a fear comes with that. And fear is a source of sickness, disease, unknown, mysterious illnesses. Pisces shit, what gone wrong. Be toxic ass waters. It just takes on its environment more. Pisces is really that sponge, love sponge, and it's on the axis of Virgo, the axis of service, and sometimes it doesn't want to go into itself. Service itself, it goes out and looks to service others and gets taken advantage of and put into slavery. So we want to go into our innermost self, silence in the now, the unchanging middle place of rest. Twelve sign Pisces, depending on their moon, depending on their Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, all the angles, they take on that so much. So a Pisces person is sometimes hard to tell when you're guessing signs, which I try not to do because I don't want to profane the sacred science. So we have 1 and a 2, the new numbers that make up Pisces. 1 to the 2 equals 3. 3 is the number of Jupiter. Jupiter is the ruler of the 12th sign, Pisces. Ding, 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 ding. Pisces is it's not tough. It is tough. It's the suffering servant. Jesus, the Pisces fish. Mary, the Virgo. We have to purge ourselves of our unhealthy toxic waters during this time. In February, which means fever. And it has to do with the burning, and it's often related to sacrifice. That Piscean idea of self-sacrificing for the all. What the story of Jesus expresses that archetype. The 12 main archetypes of our zodiac that we come into encounter with in this experience of creation. Jupiter, 3, creation. Jupiter, the creator, Father Creator, Jupiter. King of the heavens, who goes around, takes 12 years to go around, giving us our 12 zodiac signs. And it's the king of the heavens because it's the brightest, the highest. Lurking in the background is Saturn, who's really the manipulator, mastermind behind the scene. Jupiter, the creator, the wisdom gained from experience. Jupiter on the Kabbalistic tree of life is Chokmah, that which is likened to the Christ very much. Chesed, the high priest, Jupiter, Pater, good father, Deus Pater, Zeus Pater, sky father. Jupiter is, I believe, goes back to it's not L. Jupiter and Saturn switch around in mythology, their names sometimes. They do. But I think Jupiter would be Ea. Is L, and Enki. Enki is more the sea goat, Capricorn. And then Jupiter is would be responsible for the flood of Pisces. I'm surprised if the world doesn't flood again like it did. And probably the time during the last great flood was during the age of a water sign, Cancer or a Scorpio or a Pisces. Dog, if a body is sick, it has to purge by heating up a fire, making you sweat it out. Pisces. It's opposite sign, Virgo, the purifier. "12 is how long it takes to create a full human being. They say we're supposed to have 12 senses actually, and we only have 6, 5. Unless you have a sixth sense about something. We were born in 9 months. Here's the 3, the 6, the 9, and the magic power of it. And after 9, 3 from that, 12. Those are all the mutable signs, and that would be a mutable cross. And so it's the last of the signs, which is the ultimate end, a death, a dissolving, to coagulate. It's the taking the iron out of the mud, washing it, and purifying it into gold out of lead. So why is the waters of baptism? It's the last chapter in the book of death before a new book of life is opened up. And then our names are put into it at Libra season. The library. The axis from Libra to Aries. There's libraries. Filling up. What? What are we filling up in the library that is our book? What impressions are we soaking in? Maybe they need to be purified. It's going on. That's why they have the season of Lent, which is purification. Yep. "40 days. 40 is we get 40 as the 13th letter in the Hebrew alphabet, gives us 40. Mem, which is death. The 13th card is the death card in the tarot. The moon gives us 13 months, lunar months. And 13 means, Mem means water. It's the middle, Mem, middle mother letter, mother, mother that makes up matter. There's Hebrew letters for air, aleph, the first one, water, mem, the middle one, and fire, shin, the second to last one. It's sealed with the X, with the Tav, the last letter, the 22nd letter, the world card in the Tarot. And it's Saturn who seals. And the worker of Saturn is the moon. The joy, the ancient joy of Saturn is in Pisces. Why? Because Father Time, death, likes to drop its sickle in the season of Pisces. The scraping, but it's not such a scraping as it is a wash. If you're so attached to something and you need to let go of it, you can grasp on with all your might. It's an escape. Escape, that SC. It's an escapism energy Pisces can be. Disassociation. It's kind of it could be the night of the dark night of the soul type energy. Unknown. I talked about unknown, but then that brings up fears. Because it's like hidden stuff, hidden enemies. So it's mysticism and spirituality. But it could also be a great cloak put over your head, which I would argue what Christianity has done to us in the past. And all the Abrahamic faiths have done to us in the age of Pisces. But it's the Kali Yuga, and after Kali Yuga is Aquarian Age, the Golden Age. And so if we could survive, and you know how we survive? By dying to our ego, which is where we claim victory. Which is why in the Tarot deck, the happy family looking at the rising sun and the rainbow, the 10 of Cups, the fullness of love, is a symbol of Mars in Pisces, which I believe is the final decan. Mars, Mars is number 9, who ends the single digits, the digits really. 9, those 9 months of creation that it took from us to go from 2 to 1. "21, 7 3 times. 21, 2 to 1 equals 3. Just like the 1 to the 2. One is the smallest number to contain something, the triangle. On a 3-dimensional level. Or 2-dimensional level. Yeah, because the 3 covers the 2. Then the cube, which is a 12-lined 3D object, is what contains all of our experience here in this dimension. Therefore, 12 is the completion of the cube, the completion of man. The cube is the 3 and the 3 together, and the seal of Solomon, a symbol that's gone throughout all history, and Judaism doesn't have a monopoly on that. ultimately a sex symbol, but it's deeper than just sex. Sex is everything. Sex, the 6 and the 9. 6, Venus, 9, Mars. Now we took 9 and not 12 because the 3 that we're missing are the 3 levels, stages that we have to go through in our life experience to be born truly human. We'll say as a god. But a true human is more powerful than the gods. Higher than the angels. Yeah! We don't know shit about ourselves and how powerful we are. The creation of an atom bomb was by splitting an atom. We are made up of a shit ton of atoms. Adams and Eves. The Eve is the level stage, the playing field for the atoms in Eden. But through misuse of our energy, the consequence was getting into denser physicality, matter, impurities, separateness. That's the fall from the Garden of Eden. And how do we get back? Through the waters of our spinal medulla oblongata, through the sexual waters, the riding of that serpent dragon up out of the lower waters of Egypt, up into the higher levels of existence, of consciousness, not having sex divorced from spirit. Like the beasts in nature, like the animals. Rather, like the gods. And there, and even, here's it, you're having sex with the goddess when we choose the holiness. Good. Beautiful. Truth. In that, we get a chance to exist on those levels. That's how we condemn ourselves to heaven, or elevate ourselves to heaven, or cast ourselves out, fall down into earth, hell. Now, heaven and hell both exist on earth because they exist in us. Signs that we're living in hell would be nightmares. How we're living in fear is the opposite of love. Fear of the unknown leads to hate. Anger leads to hate. Are we just taking in images of hateful violence, enviness, lustfulness, avarice? Are we soaking that in? Well, this is a good time to purge, to turn up those waters, heat the fire, to throw in, have a bonfire of all that shit so that we could purify these waters to give birth to the Christ, the light in this earth. We do that through of making an effort to fully comprehend our vices. And if we saw the stark reality of just how bad they were for us, if we fully comprehended that, then we might just actually stop harm to ourselves, to others. I see all the pain that we've caused in the life of others. I think that's what we're shown and even felt in our life review. There's been a common motif throughout near-death experiences and religious literature is being fucking judged. And I think we're the person doing our own judging. I say, are you proud of this one? Or you want to try to do it again and make up for some of this bad shit? We might just be creating some bad karma more than we really know. So with the contrite, pure heart, we come back and we repent. Wash ourselves in a shower, cry, and make a firm amendment with the grace of God through the goddess to help us to start really making up for the bad that we've done and doing good. It's that easy, I think. And let us do it with joy. Isn't that beautiful?